quote that? Why don't you quote the wild and sweeping and blah, blah, blah? You didn't quote it, so I can't really argue in my defense, can I? No. It's just one of these standard operating procedures. This is the scientific way to dissect your argument. I'll just say you're a sweeper. Well, fuck you.
Anyway, saying it's an undiscovered universe, and it's all mathematical crap and that kind of carry on.
Right, so you're going to make an argument that it's not mathematical crap, that pi isn't mathematical crap, right? You're going to sit there and tell me that pi is a real thing, that it's not just a mathematical piece of crap. I mean, it's a very, very cool, excellent piece of crap, okay, but it's not a real thing, okay? Real things have real circumferences, regardless of what pi says. All right, it's going to fit somewhere, and it might not even be consistent. You might be able to create a reality where, but whatever. Let's not even go there. But there's lots of components in quantum math, okay, that are variable components. It is, as I've described it, error math. And you want to make some argument that it's not, then please do. But I haven't seen that counter argument. I've seen quantum mechanics done. You can see it. You can see them say, here's the probability, and they just move the probability through the equation as if they labeled it P or something. They might as well just label this ambiguous fog. They ought to just call it fog, and then they just move the fog through the equation. All right? But I mean, I've seen it. But anyway, and the other argument, yeah, and yes, it's I'm merely stating that, considering the fact that we are stuck in this quandary where we can't look at these things, there's no way you can interfere with them. I mean, you can't interact with them. They're the smallest things in the universe. You can only interact them with things their own size. Like I've said it before. I mean, it's like me trying to describe you by throwing you at yourself. How is that going to give me any useful information? Well, it's not going to give me any useful information.
You sound like somebody who's ignorant of the subject. The quotes about.
Well, what's your qualification to judge ignorance? How do I judge your qualifications to call me ignorant on the subject? What's your are we going to have a credential battle now? But could you at least do that? I mean, before you have the incredulity to sit there and call somebody else ignorant, why don't you point out how you have the qualifications to do that, the non-ignorance to know the difference? Show me how you have the non-ignorance to judge my ignorance.
People not understanding quantum mechanics and the implications, more importantly. We have to ask you, are you aware of, the Bell inequalities predictions and the implications therefore of,
Yeah, well, what? Am I aware of the Zorro connection and the blah, 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 blah? We've seen this crap, okay? I'm not going to sit there and waste my time going through every postulation of wacky science. Are you aware of the rope theory, okay? I mean, this guy made a video with the needle thing, that guy. He has a rope theory. It sounds sort of plausible, all the photons are connected by ropes, so, instead of strings or threads, it's rope. Not a terror, that's not outrageous. But the whole point is that all we can do is speculate until we have more information. And so we have to glean more information before we can describe exactly what these particles are made out of. But there is no definitive thing called science in terms of description yet. This is really early stages of theorizing about describing, okay? Because it might be a place where we have to create a model that works, okay? And nobody's been able to do that yet. A model that makes sense, okay? And it doesn't intuitively make sense to say things, go everywhere and then consolidate back into somewhere. I mean, come on. I mean, that's a little bit too easy, isn't it? That just to get all the, get the problem to just go away, fly into another dimension, okay, until we're done, and then pop back and do exactly what you're supposed to do. I mean, come on. I mean, Come on, it's made up bullshit. So far, it's all just made up bullshit.
I don't think you will be. You know, you've got it in your head as mathematical crap, and the matter's dropped for you. You say there's no proof, but if you know about the Bell inequalities prediction, which were borne out, then you'd understand that that's one of the highest levels of proof.
Yeah, well, whatever. I mean, again, there's been all kinds of people making all kinds of claims and making them with all kinds of emphaticness and authoritativeness, and some of them have been proved to be complete crap shit. And so you say you know the truth. Well, again, you're not making an argument. You're just sitting there referencing one. And so bullshit on that. I mean, explain it. If you've got some theorem, explain your theorem. But don't sit there and tell me I've got to, play this game where I have to go out and find out why your theorem's a pile of shit. Well, fuck you.
You're dismissive of quantum mechanics, saying it's one of the best.
I'm dismissive of not quantum mechanics. Again, the error math makes sense. It makes sense to establish that, okay, for the sake of making this coherent, we'll accept this fuzzy model that yes, photons can behave this way. They can be reduced to something less than themselves, a wave or whatever you want to call it, and then they can be, at other times they can be their whole. However you want to describe what quantum mechanics is saying. But I don't even know if quantum mechanics is even saying that. All it's saying is that we have to deal with this fact that we can't see the particle. We can't observe more than one aspect of its existence. And so, we have to make assumptions about the other. But there will be narrow possibilities. If somebody fires a gun, the trajectory of the bullet has narrow possibilities, okay, based on how hard it hits my skull, okay? And they can be wacky. I mean, bullets can have all kinds of wacky trajectories, but that sort of, there'll be a limited possibility depending, again, on what the end product was, what the velocity of the bullet when it arrived is, and what it was when it was fired. There's a limited possibility.
And theories can never be truly proven. No.
Yeah, well, whatever. As a scientist, you should be able to get your video to play a little better. Anyway, whatever. At least end somewhere better than that. But it doesn't matter. Whatever. Okay, so what? So you're just complaining that I shouldn't be arguing some sort of... well, I mean, you didn't even point out what exact argument you're dismissing. But you say you have the impression that the science proves or indicates strongly that the universe is not deterministic, that there is no cause and effect at the photonic level or the quantum level. The smallest bits of energy in the universe do things for no fucking reason. No mechanical reason. Okay, it's not even quantum. See, that's sort of the catch here, right? Quantum mechanics was invented back when they were still thinking it was about a mechanical description. Okay, not a phantasmagorical fairy tale, but an actual description of the mechanics of the physics. All right, and so you want to separate yourself from that now, okay? And you're going to tell me that the quantum mechanics, I have to accept the fact that because a photon randomly chooses to go left instead of right, that my destiny has changed. Fuck you. I mean, sorry. You're going to have to do a lot better than this shit video to logically make that make sense. To make that makes sense logically. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Alright. So anyway, video's too long, so I don't know, I'll see if I can speed it up or 2 parts. Yeah. Anyway, so Draft Science channel. Yay! Maybe. Might not be a good thing. Whatever. It is what it's going to be. Wow, that's profound. It is what it's going to be. Neato. I like that. That's like poetry or something.